sometimes your internet goes out, and sometimes that sucks. But fortunately, I get to do the show now, and I'm so excited to be here. And in a sense, it's a silver lining because I get to talk about Skubal, Mize, and Paredes. They're all coming up for the Detroit Tigers. We got new young guns. I'm so pumped about it, man. I can't believe Avila actually did something fun. It's hard to believe, but it's true. It's so true. So I can't wait to see these guys on the field this week. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about the other young guns, Alec Bohm, Dylan Carlson, another Cardinal who got torched on Sunday, made his debut. We'll discuss the young guns and what they're up to so far. Mike Clevenger saga continues. Ugh, what a bummer. Kyle Tucker hit a walk-off home run Sunday. That's fun. It's great to see him playing every day, and he might get to play even more because there's injuries on his team. There's injuries everywhere. Tommy Pham is just the latest in a line of many players like Tyler Chatwood, so many more, to hit the IL. That and more, so much more, is now available on this show right here. We're going to start it for you. Oh, don't forget to go to rotofanatic.com and check out Mike Carter's closing remarks. Great article, comes out every Sunday. Mark it on your phone, mark it in your calendar. Every Sunday, read Mike Carter's closing remarks. It's about everything you need to know bullpen-wise. He's a great guy, but he also puts in a lot of effort into it. So I think it's a win-win for everybody if you read it. And don't forget Nathan Dockin. Nathan Dockin's latest starting pitcher barometer comes out every Monday. Today's Monday. So he's got 75 pitchers to look at, and he gives you a few details about specific pitchers. Which pitchers are they? Go read it right now and find out. Let's start the show.
Sometimes there's a man, I won't say a hero, because what's a hero? But sometimes there's a man, and I'm talking about the dude here. Sometimes there's a man, he's the man for his time and place.
Look, I've been pretty tough on a couple of players, basically since the preseason, like the pre-preseason, before there was a summer camp. But on Sunday, one of them made a huge play, and another one just keeps ripping the ball. So it's time to pay tribute.
Suelta Pagan. Elevado profundo. Sólido contacto a jardín derecho. La pelota va para atrás. Para atrás. Para atrás. Para la calle Eduardo Escobar con dos en circulación y le da la vuelta al juego. 5-4 se pone Arizona en la octava entrada con el jonrón de Escobar.
Yes, sir. Eduardo Escobar hit a 3-run go-ahead home run in the 8th inning for the D-backs to take a crucial victory over the Padres. And I got to give it up to Escobar because he's been struggling, which I did predict. But maybe this is the beginning of a turnaround. And, of course, Charlie Blackmon. This guy continues to cruise. He has 22 RBI, which is fantastic. He's hitting .446, though his expected batting average is .363, which is still one of the tops in the league. But that's quite the disparity. His WOBA's .476, expected WOBA .414. So this is not going to last forever, but for now, enjoy the ride, because Charlie Blackmon is having himself a day. Yes, the Young Guns have arrived in Detroit, and I am stoked for it. Let's hear from Ben Wilson, our very own Rotofanatic prospect expert, talk about these two studs, Mize and Skubal. And trust me, nobody knows more about prospects than Mr. Wilson does. Hit it, Ben.
In Tariq Skubal, you have a high-octane lefty who really soared with a dominant 2019. Skubal is an athletic pitcher who can bring the fastball up to the high 90s. He even hit 100 during an off-season workout. You'll also see a swing-and-miss curveball, slider, and changeup. Skubal's a great talent, and some evaluators have him above Casey Mize and Matt Manning. You'll see Skubal on Tuesday night in his debut. Casey Mize was the first overall pick in the 2018 draft. His start on Wednesday will be heavily anticipated. With Mize, you get a deep arsenal with dominant secondaries with the slider and splitter. If he shakes some health questions, Mize will be a valuable starter for the long haul, who could be a number 1 or more likely a high-end number 2 starting pitcher type of ceiling. No matter how you slice it, the Tigers have a group of young pitchers that can all in their own way become difference makers towards the top of the rotation.
Thank you so much, Ben. Great stuff. Now here's Keibert Ruiz making his debut with the Dodgers. And what does he do? Well, what do you think he does? This is what he's known for. Whee! Look at that. A long long drive to deep right field, and welcome to history, Keibert Ruiz. What an exciting moment. I will say, just for the record, this home run was off of Julio Teheran, who is not very good. But still, don't let that ruin the moment. Dylan Carlson is here, and he got his first big league hit right here at Guaranteed Rate Field. He can remember that forever at Guaranteed Rate Field. Shout out to my good friend, Zach Braff. He got Dylan Carlson in our TGFBI league. He outbid me and a couple other guys. Congratulations, Zach. And lastly, there's Roel Ramirez striking out Luis Robert right there, looking really good. This was his major league debut and his first big league K. Congratulations. Unfortunately, it was all downhill as Yohan Moncada, Yasmani Grandal, Mr. Abreu, the first baseman, and to top it off with the cherry, Eloy Jimenez hit the 4th home run in a row. This was something we covered on This Day in Fantasy History last Friday. The White Sox hit 4 straight home runs in 2008. And now it's being done again, 12 years later. Unbelievable, and a really tough beginning for Mr. Ramirez. I'm sure he'll have better days, but it's going to be tough to forget this moment at Guaranteed Rate Field. Mike Clevenger and the Cleveland Indians, a match made in heaven? This is getting dicey, as now the reports are coming out that certain veterans like Oliver Perez said they would leave the team immediately if Clevenger stayed on the roster that weekend when this all went down. Oh my gosh, we can't lose Oliver Perez. Oh no! But the worst part is Clevenger. If he's kept down for 20 days at the alternate site, he will lose a year of service time and have his free agency delayed by another season. This would probably piss Clevenger off to a great extent. So we'll see what happens between Cleveland and Clevenger as this saga continues to unfold. Fantasy-wise, unless you play in a dynasty league, you might want to consider dropping Clevenger.
Everybody, we have injuries. It's not good. It's a bummer. Costing a lot of playing time for some really solid players. Even the best of the best. Ronald Acuna has been on the shelf. He's officially on the IL now with a wrist issue. And his buddy on the team, Ozzie Albies, has been on the shelf with the wrist issue. So it's amazing the Braves are over 500. They've lost so many players, and their starting pitching has been awful, minus Max Fried, of course. But you take a look at this list right here. It speaks for itself. It's not very pretty. Bo Bichette's gone, maybe till at least mid-September. He's got a knee sprain. DJ LeMahieu's thumb. Hey, there's some talk. Maybe it's time for the Yankees to trade for Whit Merrifield. That's clearly just a salacious rumor. It is not based in any fact, but I saw it on Twitter, so why not throw it out there? Because that's what you do on Twitter. Starlin Castro's done. Austin Hayes is on the IL. Tyler Chatwood hit the IL. Yordan Alvarez has a knee problem. Now, he's not on the IL as of now, but this has been a problem for him in his career already. And he's young. He's a young guy. And as we talked about on our morning relay, our daily podcast, which you can find on rotofanatic.com, it's really good. Matt Williams talked about how this is a major concern, and you might want to consider trying to get rid of Alvarez if you play in dynasty leagues. It's that serious. It could be that serious, and you don't want to be stuck with a guy who's so talented. I mean, an incredible hitter. There's no doubt about it. He came back on Friday, and he hit a home run right off the bat. That's what he does. He's Yordan Alvarez. But if he can't play for you, then he's not any good for you. It's unfortunate, but sometimes these are the realities we have to accept. And as fantasy managers, you have to make that tough call, folks. You're getting to that point now where the clock's ticking, time's running out. You only have so much time left in your season, and you got to make a determination. What is the expectation right now? Where can I finish? What can I get? What is left for me to get out of this season? Can I make any money? Am I totally screwed? Am I playing in a dynasty league? Do I need to be building for next year? Should I be trading away veterans to get youngsters? Should I be selling to get picks? Whatever your league format is, now's the time. Don't delay. And now it's time for This Day in Fantasy History. This Day in Fantasy History is a great segment. We look back in time, we pay tribute to players who made a difference for your fantasy squad. Michael Kadire used to be a very relevant fantasy player, a rock-solid player, not a superstar, but somebody who was always drafted and was dependable, could play multiple positions, and he was a difference maker. And on this date, August 17th, 2014, He did something very special that he'd already done before, but he did it again. You want to see what it is? Do you? Well, check this out. Diddle-oo, 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 diddle-oo.
Kadire became the third person ever to do a cycle in both leagues and the 30th overall to have 2 cycles in a career. What an underrated fantasy player. On this date in 2008, Josh Hamilton became only the 6th major leaguer to be intentionally walked with the bases loaded. Joe Madden said, hey, put him on and let's face Marlon Byrd. And Tampa Bay went on to win the game 7-4. So it was a smart move. Lastly, Melvin Mora had 5 hits on this day in 2008, August 17th. He had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and he had 12 total bases. Melvin Mora was a solid third baseman / outfielder who could give you some decent fantasy production once upon a time.